need a bigger boat.
Film and Everything podcast.
Alright, there we go. What's going on, guys? The Film and Everything podcast. Thank you for tuning in with us today. If you're watching or if you're listening, thank you guys so much. Today we're going to talk some Gemini Man, and then we're going to follow up with El Camino, the Breaking Bad movie. We're going to split it into two so that, it's just better for you guys, whichever one you want to watch or hear. So, okay. Let's just start because Gemini Man. Ang Lee, right? Directed by Ang Lee, starring Will Smith. Interesting concept. Kind of like kind of reminded me of Looper. At least in concept, not in execution. I enjoyed Looper a lot. Looper's a good movie. They didn't use obviously de-aging or anything. But okay, so the trailer's always weird for this movie, right? We were never really convinced with Gemini Man, and then, God, yeah, you can probably tell by our expressions already. This movie's not good. This movie's just not good, guys. I really wanted to like it. We saw it. So Ang Lee shot it. I guess he was trying to experiment with it. He shot it at 4K, high frame rate at 120 frames per second, and 3D. So, and there was a video, I don't know if you saw the picture that Will Smith put of like the camera, how big it was. It was just huge. It looked like the size of a person, and on a rig, just to get that shot of him with the gun looking up and stuff. It's a huge camera. So this movie was expensive. How much? It was 150 million, almost 200 million maybe.
I don't know.
According to what we saw on YouTube, it was like almost 200 million. And mind you, not much happens in this movie. So for it to be that much, mostly went to the de-aging and probably the technology of the camera.
But they didn't do de-aging.
What was it? It was like motion capture? It was motion capture.
Because it was de-aging, it would actually look better.
Yeah, right?
Because de-aging is what they used for Samuel Jackson. But they did motion captures. So they had to stand in with the guy with the dots.
Okay.
And then just put...
It looked good for the most part, though. There was some points where I was like, wow, it looks good. It still didn't look like the Will Smith that we grew up watching.
Yeah.
Like the Bad Boys, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Because something looked different. Something looked weird in his face or whatever. But we'll get into that. So... God. So we saw it. No theater in the country is able to do this movie in 4K, 120 frames per second, and 3D. No theater in the country. I looked it up. It's confirmed. Now, some theaters are able to accommodate for some of those. We were lucky enough, shout out to AMC, we were able to watch it in 3D and 120 frames per second. And right when it started, I felt like I was watching a VR YouTube video or something, because like right when the movie started, I just knew like this is not going to be good, and and it's really unfortunate.
My eyes started hurting.
Let me lift this a little bit since you're higher up.
Oh, yeah, I felt too low.
There we go. Okay.
My eyes started to hurt. I had to stop. I had to kind of close my eyes for some points because it was so smooth and very bright.
No, my eyes didn't hurt. Luckily, because it looked good.
No, but the thing is, 3D always hurts my eyes.
It is weird.
It hurts my eyes a lot.
It feels more like a ride or something. I feel like that's what Ang Lee was going for here. It was trying to go for more of an experience rather than
it's a shitty experience.
Rather than because it's cool, but.
You should just watch the standard.
We saw it 3D, 120 frames per second. So this thing looks super smooth. So the fight scenes, some scenes did look cool. Some, like the really fast-paced ones, like the motorcycle chase scene.
Really? I didn't like it.
Points of it, not the whole thing. Certain points, but then there was other points like in combat, like hand-to-hand combat. It looks so slow. Because the thing is, when you have a higher frame rate, it looks super smooth. So you're getting every single movement of that fight scene, as opposed to like the Raid, where they actually cut some frames out and they cut the frame rate a little bit, and it looks a little not choppier, but it looks faster. So that's why the fight scenes look so like fast paced. So that's what I like. You know, that's what most people like. But when you see this, when they're fighting, it looks like if I felt like I was watching like an infomercial or something. You know, like I felt like I was watching a VR. A Will Smith VR commercial or something. You know what I mean? There's just a VR about Will Smith because like the color grading, it didn't really look like a movie, right? It looked like a YouTube video, like a high quality 4K. Even though we saw it in 2K, it was 2K, but it was like a high quality YouTube virtual VR video. I don't know how to explain it, and it did take me away a little bit. It's cool, just not for a movie. I understand what he was going for, but for maybe do that for a ride. You know what I mean? Don't do that for a movie because it does take you away. 3D, I don't have a problem with 3D. 3D can be cool. Like we actually saw Aquaman in 3D. It was actually really cool. That was, you know, but the thing is with this high frame rate, I'm not a big fan of it. I know The Hobbit did that as well, and people didn't like it. It just looks too smooth. It takes away from that. It doesn't feel like a film. Yeah.
Which one?
I believe like the first two or something like that, or the first one.
Oh, but we never saw it.
No, we never saw it, but I heard people did not like it. Because imagine that smoothness with the CG. Because it does... It's weird because we looked at the trailers and stuff after. The high frame rate and the 3D, it kind of diminishes the CG a little bit. Because it looked pretty fake at some points. Like the motorcycle scene, some of the motion capture. But when you watch it in regular frame rate standard, it actually looks better. Because there's not that much onto it, you know? But with that being said, because that is the main thing we had to talk about with this movie. Because that's what the movie was going for. This movie was bad. It was really bad. If you're interested in seeing the technology of it,
but it's not.
Maybe go watch it. It's not anything out of this world. It took me away.
That ending.
It didn't feel like a movie.
Yeah, but that ending.
And there is a last scene where the motion capture, you can tell the studio was like, we're out of money. Just put this in there. Let's end this movie. And
it's a cutscene. That's what it looks like.
Yeah, it looks like a video game cutscene. And then, oh my god! I mean, okay, so let's talk about the movie now, right? Because we were talking about the technology and what Ang Lee was trying to go for here. I'm all for experimenting and trying new things, but this is something maybe go do a ride. Go do Shrek 4D, but something else. You know what I mean? Like, because when I was watching this, I didn't feel like I was watching a movie. I felt like I was trying to do this weird experience VR thing. You know what I mean? That from right when the movie started, it took me out. I was like, this doesn't feel like a movie. It feels weird. I felt like I was watching a YouTube video. Even the action, it felt cheap, believe it or not, which is weird. I don't know if you felt the same way. Did it feel cheap for you?
The action is bad.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It feels cheap, but the movie's not cheap at all. Like, they put money into this. So that's
the writing is.
Oh yeah, no, okay. So let's go into that because this story I was hoping for some cool, interesting mystery story, but
David Benioff.
Was it David Benioff no? It's David Benioff who wrote and did the story with
one other guy.
Wasn't it David Goyer? The guy who did Batman v Superman.
I know, but I saw David Benioff. And you can tell that he wrote this story because everything...
It's awful. Yeah, no.
Because the dialogue is bad.
Yeah, so the story in this is terrible. Terrible.
Nothing happens.
Nothing happens in this movie. And I didn't want to jump into the ending yet. We'll give the spoiler warning, but this movie, when it started, I knew right off the bat, this felt... You know how we were talking about the Joker? How when you see from the first 5-10 minutes of a movie, you're able to determine what kind of experience you're going to get. And I think I told you. Didn't I tell you 10, 15 minutes in or 20 minutes in? I was like, oh, this is going to be one of those. Or was I thinking that? I don't know if I told you.
No.
I think we looked at each other.
No, but I didn't tell you, oh, this is going to be an average, this is going to be a bad movie.
No, yeah, but there was a point midway into the movie, 20 minutes in, that we looked at each other and we're like, oh, man. We're in for a long one.
We started laughing because I was like...
Yeah, we were in for a long one because this movie, it's...
I
hate saying it, but... No, this is worse.
No, but Crawl, oh, here we go.
Yeah. Crawl was, because it had different issues, but this movie, we were 20, 30 minutes in, and we looked at each other and we knew, this is going to be a long ride.
It's 2 hours.
It feels longer.
No, it's an hour. It's an hour 58.
You feel it because there was a point in the movie I was like, oh man, this is gonna be long, and then I was just trying to like convince myself and stay optimistic. Like, okay, you know what? We're trying out this new technology with the movie. Let's see, maybe we get a cool action scene. You know, like towards the end of the movie, a very climatic battle. This movie just ends out of nowhere. There's no big climax. There's like a little action scene. Everything that you see in the trailer is all that you get, which is not saying a lot. Is there like 2 action scenes in this?
3.
There's like 2. I think two.
The bike. No, well,
the bike and the ending.
No, well, the whole thing leading up to the bike.
Oh, there's 3. There's 3.
So I would say 3 or 4.
I don't count the beginning. I don't count those little like 20-second Will Smith. You're talking about the beginning?
No, I'm talking about the bike. Like when he sees himself on the roof.
Yeah, that's 1.
And then it leads to the bike, which is stupid because
that counts as 1 set piece.
Yeah, but that bike scene.
He was like fighting him with the motorcycle or something. It was like, really weird.
Yeah, like at one point I was like, okay, get off the bike and just fight.
Yeah, I don't know why. This movie's very weird.
I think Ang Lee tried to be cool, but that was so like imagine with the high frame rate.
It looked bad, yeah.
And it was so weird because he was doing these like tricks with the bike that
very Cirque du Soleil type of stuff.
And I was like, this can't. Like, this is weird.
Yeah, no.
And the fact that like he shoots the grenade back at him.
Yeah, it's very
And you know what? It has like that Chinese like style.
It's got that influence, definitely.
Yeah, like that
Asian culture film, film culture over there.
What movie? It's like when you like watching an old Jackie Chan movie.
Just those really fake scenarios.
It has a good fighting, but the stories is like really bad. Like,
but this is kind of like I was at least hoping for a good action. I didn't get anything out of it.
That's the thing. When you watch like a Jackie Chan movie, let's say what's the one that you saw? The one that the last one that we saw.
I forgot the names, but we saw
Drunken
Master.
What was the one that had the cool fight scene where they're actually hitting each other?
I forgot the movie. I can't remember. It was something. They were like cooks.
Yeah, they were cooks, but the thing is, the story is awful.
Let me find it. It's bothering me now.
The whole story is bad, but the fighting is kind of why you watch the movie.
Yeah.
Because it's Jackie Chan kicking
Which is what I wanted from this movie. I was like, okay, let's hope for good action. You know?
But this one didn't have none of that. Bad story and bad action, so like...
Let me see. Because
what movie did Ang Lee do before? Kung Fu? What was it called? Like Kung Fu something? Or it was like a Kung Fu movie.
I don't know. I know he did Life of Pi. He did this samurai movie that I heard was really good. I forgot the name. I haven't seen much of his stuff. I still haven't seen Life of Pi, which I need to watch.
Because that tiger looks really good. And the movie, like, I haven't seen it in a long time, but...
Rumble in the Bronx? Was it that one?
Let me see the picture. No, I don't know. Is it him and his brother? Is it him and his brother?
No, I don't think it was this one. No, he's a policeman in that one. We have to see that one. That's the one we didn't see. Come on, where are you? I know you're in here. Oh, Wheels on Meals.
Yeah.
That's what it was. Something like stupid like that, yeah. Wheels on Meals. That's what
the movie.
Weird ass story, but it was fun.
The story makes no sense. Like, the story is really bad, but the action at the end is really good. Maybe because you get that awesome, the awesome fight scene with Jackie Chan, the main villain.
You get a final battle. That's really cool.
And that's really cool.
You don't get that
because it's pretty impressive how that's like them doing that, and it's very fast.
Yeah.
And that's impressive.
You don't get that in this movie. This movie, when I saw it literally, you think that it feels like midway into the movie, and then it cuts away. There's a lot of exposition about what happens, and the movie ends. It pretty much tells you how the movie ends. It doesn't show you, and I was so mad.
Yeah, but you know, it's funny. It's like David Benioff, when he writes a story, like you can tell it's him writing.
Yeah. So let's talk about the writing, because the writing in this movie is very on the nose. It's very in your face. Like, I mean, like what Chris Stuckman was saying, that like that scene, like you are like it's literally telling the audience, like you are a clone. He is you. It's like, yes, we get it. We got that from the trailers. That's what we're here to watch. But it's literally like on the nose. The movie, the pacing is weird because it's like really fast, but it feels really long. Like it doesn't really.
David Benioff, man. Like I don't know. He's just that.
There's
good.
like maybe 3 action scenes in this, set pieces that you see in the trailer, which is very unfortunate. There is no big battle at the end, which we'll talk about in spoilers, because, Will Smith does good. It's Will Smith. He does good with what he has. Benedict Wong is in this, from Doctor Strange. Elizabeth something Moss, is that her name? Something like that?
I don't know.
She's good in this. I mean...
she's a useless character.
Oh, no, her character's useless, but she does good with what she is given.
Oh, yeah.
All of them are good. They do well with what they're given.
There's a fight scene in this movie where she does absolutely nothing, and it's really funny.
Yeah.
I was watching, I forgot this YouTube, Angry Joe, and they're making fun of that scene of him swimming away.
Yeah, it didn't make any sense.
Because where is he swimming to?
Yeah. You don't know me, old man. And he's swimming away.
You don't know me.
But where is he going? They're in the same place. She could have gotten him. I don't know.
That whole fight scene was really bad.
Yeah, there is some points where the facial motion capture, de-aging, whatever you want to call it, it's well done. The story goes nowhere. It's just given to you. Nothing interesting about it. It's as simple as it looks on the trailer.
Because it had a lot of issues.
Yeah, this movie's been trying to get made for years. I can see why. Maybe I'm sure the script right now, what came out, is completely different than what they had before.
Because they probably want to do like a Looper style with it, like have
Looper was a good approach to it.
Like
really
a
cool.
Will Smith, but then he has someone that can act like Will Smith.
I always found that more interesting. I'm not a big fan of this, just having the same actor play himself.
Supposedly they're redoing this movie with Nicolas Cage and
Face Off,
and they say that that's actually a good movie because the acting is very strong because they both play good versions of Nicolas Cage and whatever.
Yeah, that's the thing. I like that. I like seeing an actor, like with Looper, you had Joseph Gordon-Levitt trying to emulate Bruce Willis, and that's cool. That makes it more fun to watch. But I'm not a big fan of seeing this older actor try to. Camera does this shit. Hold on. Sorry, the camera went off. I'm not a big fan of this older actor trying to play his younger self with de-aging. I'm not a big fan of that. I feel like it takes away because you can see the difference and you can see like their older body, and it's kind of weird. It's not. I'm not a big fan. I like that challenge of seeing a younger actor try to play this, and it's always like it's fun because like you have the old school actor Bruce Willis and you have the new school Joseph Gordon-Levitt, and it kind of it adds something there that makes it fun. But with this Will Smith thing, it kind of, I don't know, it was kind of boring. I don't know. It's not as fun to watch as seeing someone trying to be that character.
And plus, it's a lot more money.
Yeah.
You have a lot of money.
Yeah.
And if it's bad, it ruins the movie.
Which happens here sometimes. There's some points here where it's like, this looks awful. Which we'll talk about in spoilers because this is literally like the last scene of the movie. The writing it's just bad. I mean, this could be one of the worst movies for me that I've seen this year. Besides Hellboy. This is along that line of Hellboy.
Hellboy came out this year?
Did it? I think so. Wasn't it like early this year?
Yeah, I think so.
Hellboy...
But I think I'd rather watch Hellboy.
I don't know. They're both pretty bad.
No, but like at least Hellboy, like, it's shit. But at least you have somewhat more action. Even though it's shitty action, but you have more of that.
Because this movie felt long.
Because this is a shitty movie, but it's boring and nothing happens.
That's the thing. It's a very boring movie. We were laughing because when the movie ended, everybody just kind of was like looking around, and they just got up and they were like walking like they looked like zombies. They're like, all right, like I'm not gonna talk. Like this was a waste of my time. Like people just got up and they were like kind of confused.
Because the ending looked really bad.
And then people just kind of like slowly walked out. Nobody was talking about it. Nobody was like, oh my... Everybody was just like...
Just got up and left.
Let's just not talk about what we just saw and let's get out of here. That's literally what it felt like. Yeah. It was really bad. Especially with how it ends. It just ends out of nowhere. Writing is really bad. The action is just not good. It's not... nothing stands out with the action. Considering what the technology they had, I feel like the technology didn't help it. I really don't. I appreciate what Ang Lee was trying to do and trying to get something different out of there, but if you want to do like this type of stuff, go do rides. You know what I mean? Make a 4K, high frame rate ride and make it where you can interact. Because the way this movie looked, if like the seats were moving and if it was a ride, it would be really immersive. It would be cool.
Like Fast and Furious
for an amusement ride. You know what I mean? Like you're in it because that's what it felt like. I felt like I was in a VR type of thing.
Yeah.
So for that, it's great, but for a movie, I don't think it works. It just doesn't. And it's a shame.
Because you look at Drunken Master, the story is not very...
Yeah, but this movie could have had an interesting story. Like, they just didn't execute it well. It was so, like, everything was just laid out for you. There was no mystery. You just find these things out. I was like, oh, that's it? So that's it? Like, It's as simple as that? They didn't build this mystery behind it, or...
And the CGI plane and the...
Yeah, it was really weird.
I don't know, like it was.
It was a really people were like laughing, but I don't know if they were laughing at the movie or laughing with it. I don't know.
It reminds me of Metal Gear Solid 4. You know when you go to the next act, you're on the plane and you're getting like a briefing of the mission.
Yeah,
that's what this movie does.
It's really on the nose. It's
really. And they just travel places like it's nothing.
They have the guide. There's always like that guy that takes you everywhere. I don't know how, but. Yeah, this movie is... I don't like bashing on movies, but this is... but this is probably one of the worst movies I've seen this year.
There's nothing good to say about it.
Yeah, no. Will Smith.
Well, yeah, that's it. Because what did help with me is that smoothing of the high frame rate.
It doesn't help. It slows... It makes it look slower. Because you
fighting
see every...
was bad. The CGI fighting...
It was laughable. It was honestly
CGI
laughable.
fighting.
I'll never forget the audience's reaction when the movie ended. Everybody just slowly got up. Like, if they saw someone, like... die or something, they just got up and they were like, alright, well, let's not talk about this, like if they saw something they weren't supposed to see,
or, it was bad.
It was just really boring. It leaves no impact on you. It ends and you're like, okay. Cool, yeah. So, I mean, should we get into spoilers before?
Sure.
Let's give. I mean, I don't even know what I give this movie. Did we miss anything? It's that everything is really forgettable. There's nothing that really stands out from beginning to end. There are some cool parts where I can see that technology being used for experiences, for I guess it's VR, you know what I mean? Because that's what it felt like. There is some cool, like, first-person shots and stuff, but for a movie, it doesn't work. That's something for, like, a ride or an experience, that's a separate thing, but not for a movie. Because there's times I caught myself, like, lifting the 3D glasses and trying to see what the movie looked like without it. Because I like seeing, like, the frame and how it's shot, but it didn't feel like it was shot a certain way. It just felt like a thing, like a YouTube VR video.
And
I
there's
don't know.
one scene where it looked really weird, because, like, with the 3D, it was when he was talking to that Russian guy.
Oh yeah, and he's like right in your face.
And with the 3D, it's like he's like right here.
Yeah.
It's really disturbing.
We were like both watching. We were like,
I was like, oh my god, why is he so close?
He was like a Russian guy, like right in your face. It was really uncomfortable.
Naked. He was just like,
yeah, that was funny. That scene in the steam room. Everybody was wearing robes for some reason, even Will Smith, and they're like talking about the mission. And he's like, yeah, because that's why we sent you here. But there was like that same old guy in the background in underwears walking everywhere. The movie's laughable. It's that type of movie where you just laugh at it. Like, I was really bored.
Yeah.
There were some, like, it's not even, at least Hellboy, I don't know, Hellboy was kind of the same. Hellboy and this movie are around the same lines.
But
this is one of the worst movies I've seen this year, for sure.
You have to watch one. I think Hellboy. Just because
I don't know. I kind of enjoyed Gemini Man more because we laughed at more.
What do you mean? Gemini Man, nothing happens.
But that's what kind of made it funny, like the experience.
Yeah, but Hellboy, you have more action.
Hellboy, you wanted to walk out.
That's true.
You wanted to walk out of Hellboy. Yeah. This one, Hellboy was bad from the beginning to end. This one, at least you can laugh at the action.
I think I'll probably watch the Gemini Man because Hellboy had bad like cutting. It was kind of like the Mal 22.
Yeah, it frustrates you. Here, at least you can laugh at what's going on, you're like, oh, whatever.
Yeah, because remember in Hellboy, it had like that Mal 22 cutting. Yeah. And my eyes were hurting.
Yeah, no.
And I was like, dude, fuck this. I want to walk out. Like, I really hate that movie.
Yeah, that one you wanted to walk out. I remember. I don't know. What would you give this movie? I'm trying to... There's really nothing else to mention about it. We'll go into spoilers. I want to talk about the ending.
I want to give it a 3 for Will Smith's acting.
Yeah, I'm at a 3.
And that's just because for Will Smith. If he wasn't in the movie,
I'll give it.
I'll give it a 3.
I think a 3. Yeah, because Will Smith. His same humor, entertaining.
He's Will Smith.
I'll give it for the attempt. Sorry for something new, because I'm all for trying new things. It doesn't work.
Yeah, but they should have told.
But it's horribly written.
But they should have told this Ang Lee that no theater can do that format.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there. I don't know. I mean, we were lucky enough to get it in 3D and high frame rate.
Yeah, but
so we saw it. We saw the movie how he wanted it to be watched, and it doesn't work. I'll give it a 3. Will Smith is entertaining. The cast is fine. The story goes nowhere.
The writing is bad.
This movie's a lot of nothing. Nothing happens, and then it just ends, and you feel so empty. And I wouldn't. We saw it because we have A-list, so we're technically not really paying for it. But if you have to pay for this movie, and you're trying to pay $15 or something like that to go, well, I wouldn't. Go watch Joker. Go watch
Rambo.
Rambo? I haven't seen yet, but I'm sure it's better than this. Go watch anything else that's out right now. If you want to support Will Smith, I know that's the thing. So we get 3s. This movie's 3s all around. We'll get into spoilers now. It's not going to be anything too crazy. I just want to talk about the ending and why I was so disappointed with that. And some pretty bad scenes. So we're going to go into spoilers now, guys. Honestly, you're not going to really miss much if you haven't seen it. But if you want to watch the movie first and come back, that's cool. If you want to stick around for spoilers, which really isn't much. Yeah, don't waste your money. Don't waste your money, because there's better movies out that you can spend your money on. Because for me, I wasn't as mad because we didn't pay for it. We have A-list. We pay $20 a month. We watch whatever we want. Yeah. But if I had to pay $15, $14, is this 3D? 3D is more money, so $15, $16.
No, and plus the high frame rate.
I don't think they apply. I think it's more the 3D. If I had to pay that money, I'd be so mad.
Rate, do you have to put 3D? You can't just watch like
they have high frame rate standard. Oh. Yeah. So yeah, if you had to pay the $15, $16, don't do it. Don't do it, because you're gonna leave pretty upset. All right, so we're gonna go into spoilers right now, guys. If you want to stick around for it, that would be awesome. If not, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Spoiler warning in 3, 2, 1. All right, spoilers. Will Smith dies at the end. Yeah, right. That'll actually make it more interesting than what we got. Yeah. I actually thought one of them was gonna die. I thought it was going to go like that interesting route where maybe older Will Smith dies and like the younger one lives on, or vice versa. But no, it's the happiest ending of all time. Like the younger version of Will Smith is like his son. It's the family, I guess, like the son he never had because he never had a family, and he helps him. And that last scene with the CG looked awful. Even the walking, he was like walking like a cartoon character. I think the whole thing was CG. The Jeff Bridges in Tron Legacy, which was 2010, looked better.
He looked better
because he was like Will Smith was like walking like a cartoon character, and like Jeff he was Bridges talking better. He was talking like this, and it
didn't look that bad.
It was really bad. I feel like the studio was like, okay, it's the end of the movie, we're out of money, just wrap it up. Yeah, awful. Like the whole theater, I felt it. I felt the energy. Everybody was like,
because it was so bad.
Yeah, it was really bad.
Because imagine those kids that had to act like they're talking to Will Smith, and there's nothing there.
That's probably what it was, or they had like a stand-in. So that was awful. The ending is just the cheesiest, happiest ending I've ever seen, with the little fade, and everybody. That's when everybody was like, nobody was talking. Everybody just left. I didn't want to talk about what was the final battle, which didn't feel like a final climatic battle at all. Because, this Gemini thing is like a bunch of clones. He does clones, and like I thought what was cool about the movie was like how where they're trained and they're training and stuff. But I thought, okay, so the end of this movie is probably gonna be like Will Smith and this clone, because I figured they're gonna work together, are gonna go attack the base, and maybe there's more clones, and you find out and. Huh?
There's one more clone.
Yeah.
That was so funny. Like another clone.
But I thought that would have been cool if they're at the base and they go see the clones, right? And like they're fighting and it's like this big set piece. It's literally like they get ambushed, they shoot everybody out. Like
very easy.
Like the 8 people, very easy, and then the Clive Owen's character, who's like the dad of like the Gemini Will Smith, is like trying to convince him, and he's like, no, like you're whatever, and he was gonna kill him, but then older Will Smith kills him because to save him from that life. And the movie transitions towards Will Smith entering a bar. The guy explained to him how the clone Gemini's lab shut down.
No, and then he says, no, there are no more clones.
Yeah, it pretty much tells you there are no more clones. The lab is shut down. You did it. And I was like, so we don't get to see the lab. We don't get to see how it's done. It's like if they just decided to... you can tell it's a Game of Thrones writer because that's exactly how Game of Thrones ended. They just tell it to you and wrapped it up. Just, I actually thought it would have been interesting to get like a full-on action set piece at the lab, and then you find out there's more clones, and then like this whole thing, and it's like I think they didn't want to spend any more money.
David Benioff.
And then like that one more clone of Will Smith, everyone's like, oh my god, there's like a third clone.
Like people started laughing when they saw it.
That's when I think people were out of the movie at that point because the CG when he's like on, like it was really weird, like when he's on fire and he keeps getting shot. It's like that internet, the worst death ever. It was just so bad. And then we find out, it's like the surprise that they love to go for. There's another Will Smith and he's dead and you killed him. I don't even know what else. That's it. That's probably like the biggest twist in this movie. And then the movie ends. It's such a small action set piece. It felt like the middle of the movie, like a regular small little thing.
Yeah.
Because I thought they were gonna get ambushed, and then younger Will Smith is like, no, we can't let this happen. We got to go stop him. Then go to the lab, and then no, they just kill everybody there. It's like 8 people. They shoot him down quickly. They kill Clive Owen's character. Cut to Will Smith entering a bar.
3 months later.
Oh yeah, the 3 months later. It's him like entering the bar.
6 months.
6 months, yeah, 6 months. He enters the bar and it's like the guy, the leader of the business, like, yep, no more clones.
David Benioff does that.
It's very lazy. Very lazy.
He does a time jump. Why does he do that?
The time jump, but at least give me that action set piece. You know what I mean? Don't just kill a few people.
Yeah, but like
and then it cuts to the bar and it's the guy explaining, yeah, the lab is shut down. There are no more clones. It's okay. Cut to 6 months later, and it's the young Will Smith on campus with all the girls living his life, and it's like CG to the ass. God, it's like this. Like it's really bad. What else? Is there anything else? Spoilers? That's all I really wanted to say. I don't know if there's anything else.
Nothing happens.
Nothing happens in this movie. Nothing happens. Wow, no, nothing happens. That scene with when he fights his younger self, which is in the trailer as well, and he's like swimming away. He's like, "Oh, you don't know nothing about me, old man." They're like, "Where is he going?" He's right there.
It's a circle.
It's like if you try to escape from it, like, and I'm staying here, like you're right there. Like, where is he going? Does it make? It's one of those. This might be the worst movie of the year.
That scene, that whole fight scene.
Mm-hmm.
She does nothing in that whole fight
scene.
She's
like, guys, because Will Smith is like, don't shoot him.
She's literally fighting with the gun the whole way.
Yeah, it's stupid. It's one of those movies. I think this is probably one of the worst movies I've seen this year. Yeah. And I didn't expect it to be. Honestly, I was hoping for it to be one of those surprising sleeper movies where it's really good.
Oh, come on.
One of the worst movies of the year. I don't even think we can talk about this anymore. There's nothing else to say. And we can go usually an hour talking about a movie, and that's it pretty much summarizes everything about this movie. Anything else?
Nothing happens in this movie.
Nothing happens. It's what is it that somebody put in the comments? It's a snore fest. It is. I feel like people probably could have been sleeping in the theater. I was bored. I was getting sleepy. I'm not even exaggerating. I was kind of getting sleepy. I was like, Okay, and then like we were laughing and we were like looking at each other and yeah, and then what got me mad was how it ended. That's when I was like, really? You're not gonna give me at least an action set piece?
He knows how to piss you off.
I was like, you're at least not gonna give me a final action set piece? Give me some action, at least. Movie ends 6 months later. Yeah, we did it. All right, we're good.
One big happy family.
That's when I was like, fuck this movie. Like, this movie's shit. I don't know why would Will Smith do this? The Mooney. Alright, let's just wrap it up. So, I want to talk about El Camino, something a little bit better. Alright, guys, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. We're going to review now El Camino, the Breaking Bad movie. So, we're going to do that in a separate video, a separate podcast to make it easier for you guys, make it simpler. So, thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening. Check out our Instagram. It's growing a lot. It's doing really well. At Film&Everything_podcast. You guys can email us at the Film&Everything podcast at gmail.com. Or is it Film&Everything? I forget. Film&Everything at gmail.com. Let me double check because now I feel like an idiot. Let me see. Why is this on night mode? Yeah, Film&Everything at gmail.com. Sorry about that. And if you're watching, please, feel free to like, subscribe if you want more of these YouTube videos. It does help with the algorithm. I just found out there's like an algorithm in YouTube as well, kind of like Instagram. So you need interaction for the channel to like get, more out there. So yeah, I know it's annoying. So, feel free to leave a like, subscribe if you want to watch more, or comment, let us know what you thought of the review. If you agree, disagree, whatever you guys want. Make fun of us, I don't care. As long as we get in the algorithm. Alright guys, thank you for watching, thank you for listening, and goodbye.
Till next time.